present today. And we also have Dr. Atkinson here with us today. And Mr. Baltasar, could you just please address we want to make sure that everyone is clear on the legality and the presence of our board member, Dr. Sylvia Atkinson.
Yes, if I may.
Dr. Atkinson
Dr. Gutierrez.
is at the meeting.
I know Dr. Atkinson has been absent for some of the meetings. She had voluntarily removed herself, not removed herself, she had voluntarily abstained from coming to meetings in the best interest of school districts. As you all know, there have been some, because of the COVID items, things have been changing, everything has kind of been pushed back. So having said that, there's nothing, Dr. Atkinson is still an elected official, she's still a community member. She has not been removed. There's nothing has gone on in the court. So having said that, Dr. Atkinson is still entitled to vote, to discuss anything and everything. And again, if you want to address that, Dr. Atkinson, you're welcome to do that.
Yes, please do.
Madness, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Salazar, Ms. Peña, members of the board.
This is your
appreciate
board.
This opportunity to re-engage. As I had first mentioned back in December, the first court date was going to be February. So I figured at that point, month and a half, 2 months delay in being able to participate
is your board.
sufficient and I think appropriate for the school district. However, they kept moving it almost every month. And had I known back in December,
They don't care
that
about
was
it being
gonna move to
legal.
August, I would not have done that. I feel like I have done nothing wrong, and I'm going to prove that.
She has
But
done
until I
nothing
can
wrong.
Be there to do that. I'm not going to further delay any opportunities to help serve this district. I was duly elected, and I have done so with great pride and honor. And this district means a lot to me, and I'm going to stay engaged until I can. Thank you. Thank you. And this is just to confirm, you are rescinding your recusal from the board, and you have all the right to do that, and that's why you're here today. Am I correct? Thank you. Thank you. And your vote,
This
Pat?
is your board. Sylvia Atkinson
Pat, can we continue?
on the board.
Recommend approving the agenda of the emergency call board meeting of Wednesday, July 15, 2020, with any corrections or deletions.
Got a second? Second. Please vote.
This is madness, guys. This is what madness looks like.
Motion passes unanimous, 7-0.
Thank you. And if you read the certification of public notice, and after you do that, we're going to go.
This is
to,
madness.
Virtual, so we can have Judge Trevino and Mayor Trey Mendez speak to us right after you do that, because we're going to do that before public audience. So would you kindly read that emergency certification notice, and then we'll go to Mayor Mendez.
An emergency or urgent public necessity exists that requires immediate action of the Board of Trustees, or an imminent threat to public health and safety, or a reasonably unforeseeable situation exists as follows.
Yes.
On March 13, 2020, Governor Greg Abbott declared a state disaster for Texas counties due to the
This is madness,
COVID-19
guys.
pandemic. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss and take
It
appropriate
is a
action
circus show.
in response to the emerging health emergency.
Thank you. Now we'll have Mayor Mendez, if you would please address, and Dr. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Ms. Peña, and members of the board and everyone. We're bringing a resolution to the board to request our county judge and our mayor Mendez to in support of us not having in-person instruction, to have it through distance learning due to the crisis that we're in with the COVID-19 in our area. And part of the governor's orders is that is a local. It was delegated locally to the county judge Eddie Trevino and to our mayor Trey Mendez. And so we have this resolution that we're asking that from our county judge, Mr. Eddie Trevino, and our mayor, Mr. Trey Mendez, to allow us to not have in-person instruction and for us to go through distance learning. And I believe that we have both our county judge and our mayor that will address the board in regards to our resolution and the part that they're taking also to help us deal with this pandemic.
Sylvia Atkinson, at the board meeting.
Thank you. And with that said, Mr. Mendez, would you like to address the board, please? Hold on, sir, because we can't hear you.
Unimaginable. Unimaginable. Dr. Sylvia Atkinson, after, being arrested, indicted by the federal government, FBI, for taking bribes from vendors, making money, sitting at the board meeting, directing the board. This is what it boils down to, folks. Let the record show
We're
that we have
working hard
federal
to try and
crime
fix it.
activity on the school board. They do not care. Why? What did Matt just got in? Did they say something crazy? No, they have Dr. Sylvia Atkinson sitting there.
Justin, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, can you move the camera?
Can you move it so he can see us?
There you go. That works, thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members, and Dr. Gutierrez. My name is Trey Mendez, and for the last year, a little bit over a year, I've had the honor and privilege of serving as mayor for the city of Brownsville. And just as a bit of a background, to kind of give you all an idea where we are, where we stand during this crisis.
This board doesn't care.
The city of Brownsville thus far has performed over 9,000 tests on its citizens. Brownsville thus far has had 2,650 positives.
Exactly.
We've had well over 1,000 of those individuals who have recovered so far. As we know, the recovery rate is extremely high, and most individuals will recover and
is the level of corruption
live through having had this virus.
on the BISD board.
However, a lot of individuals that do recover.
Did anyone ever doubt what I said?
Long-lasting health effects. And
The head of the snake
other things
is
that
back.
To be determined. Unfortunately, up to now, we've lost 35 individuals, and the number is actually higher. As of now, one facility alone has 51 deaths at their hospital. To get an idea also how bad this has gotten, on May the 26th, the positivity rate for the state of Texas was 4.27%. On the 13th of June, it was 6.11%. 2 weeks after that, it climbed to 14.31%. And now, as we sit here today, it is 16.89%. So we find ourselves in a very critical situation.
I guess FBI and the federal judge don't matter.
That the world hasn't seen in over 100 years.
She's there.
So now, more than ever, we find ourselves facing
is your
an invisible,
corrupt
dangerous enemy.
School board.
And now more than ever, we must be united as a city, as a school district, as a community, to do everything that we possibly can.
This is your corrupt school board.
To keep our citizens and our residents and our families safe from this virus and do our best to contain the community spread. Now, this virus doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate against geographical, racial, or political boundaries. So we're all in this together. I've read the resolution. You have my complete support on this. I am a 100% supporter of not having any sort of face-to-face classes at this time. I know that you've asked for the city support and my support. I want to let you know here publicly that you certainly have that. And anything else that I can do, if I can lend any sort of hand in anything else to help you, resources, data, anything else, please count on me. Please count on the city of Brownsville. And I want to thank all of you for your work. We're all elected officials, and I understand that we're all in difficult positions sometimes, but I think
no one stood up to her.
And facts when we make our decisions, and it's overwhelmingly in favor of trying to keep people apart and trying to keep our students safe. So thank you very much. If there's any other questions or anything else, I'll be happy to answer, but But in short, you have my complete support on this mission. Thank you.
They don't want to hear, teacher.
Dr. Gutierrez?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I do have a question since in BISD, we have schools in the city as well as in the county, and the county already passed a resolution yesterday. I think it would be highly recommended and supported by the district if the city would also do the same as a resolution from the city.
They already did, you moron.
And also be in support of distance learning and not have any in-person instruction due to the pandemic crisis. And if it's allowable, and if you could, put some agenda item that would approve.
He already
a
did, you
resolution
moron.
in support of our resolution to
You
be in the same page, all of
moron.
us, from the county, the city, to the school district.
Yes, Doctor, absolutely. We're gonna have our next meeting in a few days, and I'll make sure that item is on the agenda, and we should have that, God willing, in a few days for you.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Yes, she is,
Mayor
Laura.
Mendez. We appreciate the collaboration between the city and the school district and the county.
They don't
because
care about the
together,
community.
United, we're stronger and we can get through this a lot safer. So I really appreciate you reaching out to us, and we'll continue to reach out to you so we can work together to get through this. And after this is all done and over, we continue to work with each other to make this our best city and district in the county.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
This is a
Anyone-
definite circus.
Yes, Miss Priscilla.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Tremendez. I really appreciate your support. I remain positive that we will continue to communicate clearly,
Ms. Sylvia?
truthfully, and calmly, and take the necessary steps to support each other in the BISD community during these unprecedented times. Thank you.
Mr. Cohen, you raised your hand.
Mayor, I want to thank you very much for supporting our resolution and for also making arrangements to put the same thing on your agenda with the city commission. I think the public can see that all different entities, the county, the city, and the district of BISD are working together to be able to successfully somehow or another survive this pandemic and get through with everybody being healthy and whole. Anyway, thank you and God bless.
Slap on the community.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for taking time in your day to oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Dr. Atkinson? Thank you, Ms. Benny. I just want to again also echo and thank Mayor Mendez for the daily updates and support, constant support of our school district and also the private public schools of Brownsville.
Another movie.
Your leadership has been very, very admirable, and I think that working together, we're going to get through this. Thank you. Thank you. We have nothing else to be said. Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy your day, and really appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Ms. Bennett, just to give the board an update, I just got a text from the county judge. He said that he's finishing up an interview and that he'll zoom in as soon as he can get off the interview. So I told him that we'd be waiting for him, and I guess we can continue with the meeting, but at some point he'll zoom back in.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Mendez. We'll continue with public audience input, and if he comes in during that time, we'll pause that and give the floor.
No
to the
shame.
judge. So,
No
Councilwoman?
shame.
Yes, ma'am. Our next item is the public comment period. Persons wanting to address the board during public comment shall before the beginning of the
did.
meeting, print their names and the subject matter on the sign-in sheet provided at the entrance of the board. Speakers are allowed a maximum of 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Veronica Borrego, and it'll be virtual.
This is the Brownsville Independent School Board. Now, does anyone
Can you hear us?
does everyone understand why we call it the corrupt board? The corrupt board, because their leader is back on. A true joke.
Can you hear me?
A true joke of
Yes.
process of system.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Good afternoon, Board President Peña, board members, and Dr. Gutierrez. My name is Veronica Borrego, and I am the proud president of AOBE, the largest and only chartered local association of BISD. I am speaking today to ask that a decision be made today. The anxiety and the fear of the unknown is debilitating to our community,
Madness.
for BISD parents,
Madness.
and to many of our members. We need to know how and when we will begin so we can begin to plan effectively. We thank you for making the decision to work with the local government, and we hope that you can take action and finalize the decision today, and that it is the safest possible decision for all. We thank you, Mayor and Judge, for the input and assistance, and thank you, board members, for your time and all the energy that you're putting into this plan. Thank you.
Pistachios.
Our next speaker is Amy Tigert, virtual.
Unbelievable. She's spitting on the DA's face. I mean, that's embarrassing to BID and everyone, the community, man. It's an embarrassment to the community. She took money from federal agents. Literally took money from undercover federal agents, and she's leading the board right now. School board, guys.
Hi. My name is
we're about to
Amy
find out.
Tigert, and I am a parent of two middle schoolers now. I've been with BISD since first grade with my two kiddos. I just want to first say thank you. This is such a challenging
You're for
time
me, Nerva
for
Peña.
everyone. There are so many
Good luck with that,
unknowns.
idiot.
Um,
She controls
I'm
him.
very glad to hear the way this is moving.
She
I'll
controls
be
him.
honest, when the survey came out, I filled it out right away, and I was all for the hybrid.
Hola, nena.
My kids will be okay in any format that they do, but since all of the numbers, you know, it seems like every day
It's
I
the
know
laughing
someone
stock
else
of not
that
only
has a loved one
Brownsville,
that has
the
passed
laughing
away. There's a
stock
lot
of
death
the
around us.
county, the laughing stock
The
of the
anxiety,
state.
the fear,
This
the
corrupt
unknown.
board has Sylvia
And on top of
Atkinson
that, the
leading
planning
it
that
again.
goes into getting our kiddos
Now, not
that are home
escondidas,
or schools
in
ready
person,
for,
sitting at the boardroom.
instruction, for supplies and all of those sorts of things. So I just, I would just ask, as Ms. Borrego did, that we know something today. You know, I appreciate the mayor and the county judge, you know, putting the order in so that we know we're good until September 8th. But I think there's so many unknowns that to have the conversation with kids, to let them get ready. If they're not going to go, if they're looking forward to going, they need that time to kind of reset and get together for what the new path is. So I appreciate your time and letting me have a moment to speak. I think that the concerns are
What more
unknown.
evidence do y'all
What is the
need?
plan? If
I
we
mean,
do
goodness
go,
gracious,
what
it's
happens?
playing out right in front of y'all's
I think all
eyes.
of those things
Does
is
anyone need
that's
any more
fantasy. I
evidence
know it's
of the
a big
corruption
district,
of this
it's a lot of
board?
people, but I think that helps
Have I
to calm
been
the
wrong,
fears
folks?
of parents. You know, we're not trying to be stubborn. We're just
Have I been
we're
wrong?
scared. We want to stay safe, and I think there's so
Honestly,
many
have I been
unknowns right
wrong?
now that it's too soon to go back. I'm all for online virtual learning. Let's get to it. But I've changed my mind.
Thanks, Papa.
And I am not comfortable sending my kids to school.
Have
right now.
I been wrong, folks?
Thank you very much, Dr. Gutierrez, Madam Board President, all the board members, for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I appreciate all of your
Little Eddie's a
hard
joke
work.
for the BID police.
You know, it is all about community. It takes a village. I say it all the time, and I appreciate having an opportunity to speak here. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Louis Lian.
Definitely the laugh of the state, if not the nation.
I'm sorry?
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
No. It's a joke, guys. She is sitting at the board, leading the board.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board President Peña, Superintendent Gutierrez, and school board members. My name is Louis Leal, and I'm a proud teacher at BISD. I come to you again today to ask that you keep schools closed for face-to-face instruction. I have read your resolution, and I am glad you are making this decision. It is a shame that in the United States of America, in an organization that employs over 6,000 people, that there are many employees that are afraid to speak up because of fear of retaliation. We need to work together. Tell me, how are we to better ourselves as a district if we do not listen to those on the front line? Our district needs to listen to those who have fears, at the same time listen to those of us with ideas as how to tackle this pandemic. As one former educator said, the
As
answer
of right
is in
now,
the
Sandy,
room.
yes.
But if those with the answers or solutions are never asked, you'll stay stuck in the same place. On another note, on Monday, I, along with many other teachers and parents, were expressing our freedoms as Americans over the concern of opening up our schools. Yes, that was me in the costume. My intention
It's an
behind wearing
embarrassment,
that
Ryan.
costume was to bring light the seriousness of this pandemic and the consequences of opening up our schools when we are not ready to do so. The message that I
mean,
wanted to send out was loud and clear.
You can't make this
Our
stuff up,
hospitals,
guys.
nor our medical professionals are ready for our schools to open. I'm a proud teacher of BISD and have been for over 30 years. Proud of all the BISD employees that came
This
through in the
is
spring
your school
to
board,
continue educating our children.
led by Sylvia
Let's
Atkinson
keep on
again.
continuing educating
Well,
from home
She was always
and not from a hospital room.
leading the board.
Thank you very much for
Now
your
she's
attention.
leading it from the boardroom.
Thank you. Our next speaker is
No tienen
Tania
vergüenza.
Carrion.
It's a slap in the face of our community as a whole. It is a slap in the face. Puro compadrismo. Guys, it's now or never, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
She controls BISD.
Okay. Good afternoon, members of the board and Dr. Gutierrez. My name is Tania Carrion.
That'd be awesome.
Dr. Gutierrez, I have a question for you. I know that you're saying that we're going to have distance learning for the students, but can you please clarify
Legal.
what are you going to ask the teachers to do? Please say it. Are you going to make us go?
In public comment, you
Like I
cannot
mentioned,
identify
my name is
people.
Tania Carrion, and I am a kindergarten teacher. I finished my year
Gutierrez
online.
wants to interrupt
I
her.
opened a class dojo for my regular students.
Wants to
I was
interrupt
getting
her.
phone calls
Gutierrez.
times during the day, and I was okay with it.
He doesn't
I was the
understand.
IT for
It was
my
a
students
statement
and
she was
parents.
making.
I also did summer school for a different campus, and I had to teach on Google Teams.
Legal
During my
counsel.
summer teaching, I had a class dojo account for communication. I had Google Teams meetings set up for teaching. I did live documents to learn all
Madness.
contact with parents because we were working
Puras
under a federal
asmos.
program, our bilingual program. I had Carlos Olvera, Pat Segura, Alejandra Aldrete, my lead teacher, Mrs. Benavides from El Jardín, and Miss Ana Garza on my teaching meetings added
Ma'am,
so they could
ma'am,
do
hold
a
on,
virtual
ma'am.
walkthrough.
ma'am, can you hear
Talk
me?
to them, listen to us.
Ms.
We
Peña,
already did
Ms.
distance
Peña,
learning.
we need to, this sounds, ma'am,
We can do it.
What
Hold
the?
on, ma'am.
Let her
We
talk.
can do distance learning.
could you turn that off,
We
please?
are afraid, and we want to.
Let her
ask you,
talk.
Dr. Gutierrez. Yes.
Yeah, could you please pause her? If you have any complaint that's a personnel complaint, you started naming employees, this is not the proper venue. We have a
Okay, then I
DGBA.
meant to say the
policy.
members
Well,
of the
hold on a
bilingual
minute,
department,
hold
is that
on.
okay?
Hold on, I'm just saying, that it sounds to me like a grievance. If it is a grievance against any of your supervisors or anybody you work with,
No, no, no.
coworkers,
I'm
then,
thankful.
you know, ma'am, you need to put that in writing as a grievance because it sounds like a
I'm not
grievance.
doing a grievance. I'm just saying that those people went to my Google Classroom.
Again, it sounds like a grievance.
It's
You need
not
to
a
ask
grievance,
them to
you
put that in
idiot.
writing
No,
as a
I'm not
DGBA
complaining about them. I'm saying good job because they already did it in the summer.
That's exactly what she
I can hear you
said.
very well, I'm sorry.
You got 1 minute left.
It's just not naming personnel.
Okay,
Not
not
naming,
naming names,
no
watch
no
that
names,
out.
no name at all. That's it on
When I
personnel.
was working for the bilingual department, they did walkthroughs, and I like it because they show us a way that distance learning can be made.
They're not even
Can
listening
be
to her.
done. That's what I mean. So we want you to allow us to do distance learning. We want you to calm our fears. If you want us to go to the classroom to teach, when are you going to send us home to teach? After one or more teachers at my school get infected?
They do fear her,
After
Papi.
10 teachers get infected? After one teacher
Every
dies?
single one of them, Rob.
And when we go home sick, who's going to take over my class? Let me stay home because I already did it in the summer, working for the bilingual department.
Eduardo's correct.
We can do it from home. We are afraid. We don't want to go in person. Because with the little numbers that you were having, people were getting infected. Please hear us out. Talk to your departments because we already did it. We are
time's up,
willing
ma'am.
to do the extra work.
Your time's
We
up.
don't
You
mind
interrupted
doing the
her. Let her
extra
talk.
hours. Please hear us out
Thank
and
you.
tell us the plans we have for the teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Aida Abeldaño.
Ratas inmundas. Yes. Yes, it does. They don't care.
Can you hear me?
These people don't understand. They don't care.
Okay. Good afternoon, President Peña, members of the board, and Dr. Gutierrez. I want to thank you for the opportunity again to speak virtually. We practice what
We have
we
5
say
seats up.
on safety first. So first of all, I'll try to get everything in here, but yesterday, several of our members that do serve on the DEIC mentioned about some of the information that was given at the DEIC. That's the type of communication we're asking for all employees.
No respect
I
whatsoever.
know the DEIC is first to review that information, and they are to take information back to the campus or to their colleagues. But right now, with our situation, we're asking for that type of transparency for all employees. Because I know last time I spoke about the communication and transparency, and I know you all mentioned that you guys have spoken and told the people at the community meetings, but the committee meetings, but the problem is that so much is changing on a daily basis, and we cases even more. And we're
Jaime, send me the link,
to
please.
have updates go out more frequently to all employees. They deserve that, because not hearing from administration only builds up more chaos and stress for them,
They don't care, Ida.
because they don't have the answers. Now, I understand at the last board meeting before the shutdown and you guys were on vacation, there was a presentation, but so much has changed from then to now, and we're asking for more communication for our employees. Also, we're asking on, as I have mentioned before, about the task force. We want equal representation on this task force. We feel
Thanks, Papa.
it doesn't have a fair representation for everybody at the school district. It definitely doesn't have our input, and being the largest association, I have shared with Dr. Gutierrez and the members of the board our concerns from our members without disclosing their information of who it's coming from. But valid concerns, which would help to develop a good safety plan. We're not saying that we don't want to
No,
work.
bitch, shut up.
The employees are ready and willing to work, but they just want to know that it's going to be safe for them to be able to do that. And in seeing the meeting on Monday,
It doesn't,
there's
Denise.
issues that, you know, we're 4 months into this, and there was a discussion that went on for a few minutes on what are we going to do if a student gets on the bus and has fever?
No
Do
tiene
we take them
vergüenza.
back? Do we take them to school? The parents have gone,
30
they've already
seconds.
left. You know, we're at the point right now that we should already
This is about
have all
students,
those
teachers, family,
answers.
community. I feel that they're laughing at us. They are laughing at
In
us.
meeting with associations across the state with TSTA, I've talked to several.
And tonight's show is going to be
that
lit.
have everything, you know, down to
Tonight at
where
9 p.m.
the teachers are going to be having their lunch if they have to do in-class instruction.
Oh, it happens here
Things like
worse.
that. All the steps were down, you know, right down to the little details. And that's where we need to be at this point. So that's what we're asking for. We're willing to help.
It's all about the
provide
cash, bros.
Information,
Hands
provide data, anything that we can do.
Let her speak.
We're asking you to please be open to receive information that people are willing to give to you and to listen to the employees with your.
Thank you very much.
So I am
Let her speak.
very glad to hear that you're going to be working with the city and the county, because that is very much needed at this time. And we thank you for this time,
Thank you.
and the proper decisions are made.
It's crazy, Lucy.
Ms. Bisping, I have the county judges going to Zoom in.
Okay, at this time,
It'll be
at
you,
this
Mike.
point in time, we're going to interrupt the public audience and the public speaking and have the, no, it's not finished yet. We're just gonna take a time out from it to have the county judge address us virtually. And then we'll return back to the public audience participation.
You can't do that without a motion. Media doesn't care. Media doesn't care, guys. The media is controlled by these people because they're advertising junkies. They don't care.
Judge, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes,
Crazy.
sir, Judge, you've got the floor. You've got the Board of Trustees, Superintendent. You're on live, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Well, I was invited. I don't know,
He wasn't.
somebody's got a question or what you wanted to discuss. I don't want to.
Yes, sir, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Gutierrez address you. Go ahead.
Judge Trevino, thank you for joining us in our emergency meeting. Is that we have a resolution that we are going to, that I'm recommending to the board.
They haven't even told him what it's for.
I know that yesterday the county had a resolution, and I want to thank you for that resolution that is in support of what the board and myself are in support, and that is to have distance learning only and not have any in-person instruction. So I want to thank you for taking the lead on that in our county. And our resolution is also to support what you have already done and for the county as well. And we just want to, first of all, thank you. And
I'm shocked
and
too.
also that our resolution that I'm recommending to this, in this
Ida
meeting is
Avendaño from
what
AOB.
you are doing already for our county to try to keep everyone safe, keep our students safe, our staff. And I invited you to this meeting so that you could address the board and that we're all on the same page from the county to
No,
the city.
you're
and the
not,
school
you idiot.
district in trying to keep everyone safe, especially our students. The most, to every parent, the students are their child is the most valuable person in the world. And we're all in here together to take care of our students and our staff. So that's why I was inviting you to address the board and again, to say thank you for supporting what we have been advocating all along, is to have distance learning only and not have any in-person instruction until it is safe to bring our students and our staff into our campuses.
Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez and school board members. Thank you for inviting me and thank you for your leadership on this issue. We are working on a countywide letter, having all the superintendents sign off to it. We were working on that, and then we felt we needed to jump on drafting and preparing this order based upon what we were hearing both at the state and at the federal level. That would allow
They don't care.
each of the school districts some additional time, obviously to keep planning, but the goal of the correspondence and our actions going forward is what Dr. Gutierrez just said. If you, the school district, the educational professionals, the health
It is a
professionals,
big screw you.
are indicating and stating that in-person school or in-person education at this point
Total disregard
would
for the
be
community.
potentially risky and dangerous to everyone, then there's absolutely no reason to do it when there's an alternative. We obviously live in a
Love you.
different world than we did before March. And I think BISD and all the other school districts in the county and the state and the country for that matter are better prepared now for a virtual learning. We know that there are a lot of needs. Many students may not have
Minerva's
access
master's
to a
back.
computer or the proper Wi-Fi broadband internet access. But we're
Please
trying to
email
make
the
sure
DA.
that both in the short and the long
What
term, we try to
a
address
joke.
those infrastructure issues. But be that as it may, I'm glad that we're all on the same page. I cannot tell you how many phone calls, text messages, or emails I received from educators, from administrators, from parents, basically asking that we do this. So I'm glad we're on the same page. Let's hope that somehow everyone, and I do mean everyone in our community, starts changing and modifying their conduct or behavior. I wanted to give you some quick stats, just so that you have an idea. On June the 1st, we were at 776 cases countywide. On July the 1st, we were at 2,510.
This is crazy.
So we had quadrupled basically in that 1 month. From July the 1st at 2,510 to yesterday, we are at almost 4,600 cases, 4,590. We anticipate that obviously continue to increase. In the last week, since Friday, we've had 250, 358, 321, 450 cases, plus 8 people passing away. And there are a lot more. We are behind on our information, and we need to do everything we can to catch up.
They all get breaks.
But these numbers should concern each and every one of us, regardless of our profession, regardless of our situation,
Possible.
because this is impacting all of our families. So we're in this together. The only way we're going to get past this is by working together, sticking together, and I know, Minerva would agree, by praying together.
Praying
We
together.
do everything we can.
Minerva.
And those naysayers, or those
Oh my
individuals,
God.
especially the younger adults who may have helped cause this spike in our cases.
What a
we've got to realize
disregard
that they're impacting the entire
to
community.
procedure,
So
guys.
let's all work together. I'm here at your disposal to help you in any way possible going forward. And I look forward to continuing to work with Dr. Gutierrez and each and every one of you. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you today during your emergency meeting.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We spoke to Menendez earlier, and we thank him and appreciate the collaboration between the county, the city, and our school district, because united we can do things better, safer, and be stronger as a community.
Shut
So I
up,
really
Penguin.
appreciate you putting that word out and agreeing with us to have the virtual education until this pandemic is pretty much
He agrees with
done
you.
and dissolved and away from our planet, because keeping student lives and healthy, that's our main objective, and I know you agree with that 100%. So do I have anyone? Mr. Cohen?
Judge Philip Cowan, I want to thank you very much for your support. I know you've always been there
Can
forever.
you speak up? I can barely hear you.
I want to thank you for your support and for standing by us. I mean, I know you're concerned about every single child, parent, and staff member, teacher at all of our schools, and I really appreciate your concern. One thing that I wanted to let you know is that
there is no need.
If you read what TEA says, we can continue the virtual learning if we can get more people online to do the virtual learning. If we can expand, that's very important. And,
No, Philip.
We, as a district,
just vote to go remote
just
learning
about a
now.
1-to-1 ratio with tablets and laptops and iPads, per student. We recently bought 11,000 Chromebooks, and we passed them out. We have 3,000 hotspots. But one of the things I think is very significant is we're going to be working with the city on the short term
La
to try to
ratota.
take advantage of our system at our schools, which is a gigabyte a second.
It is
at the
embarrassing.
campuses, so that
It's a
that
joke.
can be broadcast to neighborhoods. And so, whatever the county can do to help us there to cover the areas that are not within the city, so that we do have Wi-Fi capability, we need to, we're ready to work with you. because the more open it is, the more access there is. We could go the whole first semester, and if we have that. What we can't do is cut off people because they don't have the, for equal protection reasons, they can't access. And so that may force us to go back sooner. I just wanted to make a comment. to you.
Sylvia is
I
at the board
appreciate
meeting,
everything
Doc.
you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anyone else? Oh, Dr. Atkinson?
Dr.
Thank you, Ms.
Atkinson.
Peña. Thank you, Judge, and just a big thank you for your leadership, again, and continued support of our school systems in the area. I just had a quick question. I don't know if I addressed it, Ms. Peña, to the judge or maybe Mr. Salazar, because in reading the resolution, I was just concerned about.
Address it to Mr. Salazar.
Okay, concerned about the special services, the need to make sure that we provide additional services to our special ed students.
We're going to discuss that when we get to the resolution. At this point
Okay.
in time, we're not discussing the resolution yet.
Okay.
We're going to go into detail with the resolution.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But I will, just so that everybody knows, I have been talking to Judge Trevino, and I did, Judge Trevino, talk to the county's attorney, Mr. Juan Gonzalez, and we have discussed a couple of maybe fine tunings in some of the paragraphs. So thank you very much, Judge, for offering your staff to work with us again collaboratively, not only on your order, because we may have to make
Shut
some fine
up.
tunings, but also on the other letter. Your office has been very responsive in trying to work out an agreeable letter for not only this district, but all the districts in the county. So thanks again, Judge. But we are going to address those issues.
Yes, if there's any issues that sometimes things pop up that may not have been previously considered, definitely we're here to address and make sure that everything runs and addresses the needs that you all, as educators, need to do. We completely understand that.
And if we could, on that note, I
Love you,
would
man.
like to see that
Love,
with the county judge and the mayor, that you do support, that we do the first 6 weeks at minimum distance learning. That way we don't, I know that you put after June,
Exactly,
September
Rob.
the 8th, we can have face-to-face. But at this point in time, to put everyone at ease and to know that we are here to protect their safety at the first 6 weeks at a minimum for distance learning, and possibly the whole fall semester, depending on how this plays out. We would appreciate that type of support. Ms. Prissy, did you have something to say?
I just wanted to echo the same sentiments that, Judge, thank you very much for your endless support to take the necessary steps to support our BISD community during these challenging times. We are truly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I know you've been very busy. We really appreciate you took time out of your day to come in virtually and speak with us about this very important issue.
Thank you, everyone. Have a safe day. God bless you. Take care.
But she
of yourself.
controls
Wear
me
your
too.
mask.
Yes, sir. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alberto Alegría.
They have no concept of what's right and wrong.
Good
They really
afternoon,
don't.
members of the board, President Mrs. Peña, Superintendent Dr. Gutierrez, and ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alberto Alegría, President of Texas Valley Educators Association, or TVEA, and affiliated with Buck. As we prepare to unveil a resolution to reopen the 2020-2021 school year, safety for our employees and students is the most essential variable this plan must accomplish. The startup plan and dates presented has to be approachable by all employees before you demand anyone to step into a classroom. If part of the plan is to send
Sylvia
teachers
controls
into
them,
the
bro.
campus after September
Paulette, I'm
8th
sorry. Sylvia
and to
controls
teach
them.
virtual from their classroom, then
Uh,
TVEA
we'll find
cannot
out in a little
support
bit,
and start
Agripino.
with teachers in the
It
classroom
hasn't been addressed
at this
yet.
point.
Should be addressed in a little
We
bit.
are asking this administration and the Board of Trustees to start the year with at-home learning until we have data, solid medical advice from Cameron County Health Authority, and assurances from BISD that everything is in place with
Exactamente.
health
They've already
checkpoints,
been
PPE,
told.
sanitizing equipment,
The
personnel
county already made a
containment,
choice.
and
This
a
is all a
classroom
show,
plan
guys,
that will keep our students
to make
and
them look
employees
like they're working
safe
with the
and
county.
echo peace
They're
of mind
not.
for all.
Ah,
I've heard repetitively of how employees are eager to return to work,
they aren't paying
and have
attention,
face-to-face
Kim. They don't
instruction.
care
but that is not feasible
because
until-
she's the head of the
until these
snake.
You, as our educational leader, must make the right decision, listen to your employees and community, have compassion for all those employees with underlying medical issues, inform the community of COVID-19 cases in a timely fashion, and initiate a plan of action in case COVID-19 exposure infiltrates our campuses or departments. Texas Valley Educators Association is recommending that we initiate home learning, teaching from home for the first semester, simply because it removes the variable of transmitting the virus.
It's disgusting, guys. Trisha's right. It's
Minimizes
disgusting.
the possibility of exposure to COVID-19 to a small percentage while controlling the spread. In closing, only history
madness,
will
folks.
tell if this administration and board of trustees make the correct decision or utilize the best opportunity the governor, TEA, and the Commissioner of Education could allow.
Verónica, ahí está la evidencia. Son una bola de ratas. La cabeza de la víbora, Silvia, que se robó dinero de nuestros alumnos y los recursos de los maestros, ahí está de nuevo dirigiendo esta mesa en vivo, aunque lo hacía antes a las escondidas. Ahora ya se descararon. A lo claro. O sea, ahí está la evidencia.
The fact that you heard the public's cry, made the right decision, and took a stance of protecting our educational community from
Because she controls it, Wendy.
And allow our families, employees, and students to rejoice, teach, and learn another day. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Patrick Hammes.
El otro. You're doing a great job, board. A ver.
A long time. All of what, 2 days?
Se te cayó la máscara, imbécil.
Patrick Hammes, speaking on behalf of the membership of BEST, Brownsville Educators Stand Together, affiliated with the AFT, American Federation of Teachers, a union of professionals. We have consistently represented the fact that we've consistently recommended distance learning to the district. April represented the
It's just a
AFT
show.
national position, which basically followed the CDC guidelines.
It's a scripted meeting.
BEST came back and again at the board meeting presented an amendment to that where we proposed distance learning for the entire.
Es una vergüenza.
For the safety. I want to thank the County Judge Trevino, Mayor Mendez, Superintendent Gutierrez, and the board for working together on coming up with the resolution to start the year with distance learning as we requested
November
on Monday
at the ballot box. Actually, in the last 2 weeks of October is when everyone needs to complain and bring other people to complain by voting these people out.
Monday had requested for you to push the calendar back as far back as legally as you could. We are excited and glad to see.
It's all about the money.
For today. We don't know if you.
No one is cleaning the mic. They're all just throwing their sputum on it. Sputum?
We have pulled our membership.
He is a joke.
The responses I've gotten so far heavily favors the 25th.
She's not supposed to be there. But do you think these people care?
All of our employees, all of our members, and I believe the community will be happy with either one. So we thank you for that. A few things real quick. We slightly differ from Albert and TBA. We believe that the employees should have the
not safe in anyone's situation is my.
Doing the direct teaching from the classroom. Some will want to do that, or from being able to.
Of course, she does. They're buddies. Him and Sylvia.
They have flexibility. I think that would be something that would strengthen the district. It's key on this calendar because you have counselors, librarians, and band directors all coming back.
No one is going to stand up to Sylvia, Cindy. Not the DA, not anyone here in Cameron County is going to stand up to Sylvia. No one.
Communication out to them and all the employees would be very, very much appreciated. And then finally, the other concern is
no one wants to hear it, Patrick.
3 departments in this building that have been affected. You've had finance, you've had payroll, and just yesterday you've had public information. If at all possible, or as much as possible, please allow those employees also to work.
And it's a mistake, Valen. A big mistake.
And for your safety also, if you have to have them here, maybe work on a rotation schedule to minimize the risk to everybody. I think everybody is working on the same thing. BEST appreciates everybody's efforts on this by working together and putting safety first and erring on the side of caution. We will continue to be
because she controls them.
South Texas,
she was the one that was directing them through all my process as well.
Thank you.
Okay, this concludes our public comment period. Under Roman numeral 8A, General Function 1, discussion, consideration, and possible action to recommend approval of Resolution 17, 2020, 2021.
So moved. Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Ms. Peña, and members of the board. This resolution is just for us that we're recommending it again because we want to be in support of our local officials, which is our county judge and the mayor Mendez from Brownsville, to be that we're supporting this time for us to have only distance learning and not in-person instruction. And the governor has given this authority to our local officials. And as a school district, we are in support of that decision that the county's already made. And our mayor Mendez is going to take to the city commission as well to do the same.
This is a show, guys.
At this time.
He's an idiot.
We have, again, we have our schools where our students can go in and our staff and be safe, but that will be until further notice. So this resolution, again, is in support of our local officials to
the board attorney.
Distance learning only.
Thank you. Ms. Brown?
Dr. Gutierrez, I guess I need clarification on this, though. Are we speaking and are we going to offer people options? Because I have heard about teachers that don't have the Wi-Fi or the internet accessibility in order to provide top-notch instruction from their own homes. And I want to know if we're going to be able to allow those people, those teachers, those instructors who would like to go into the campuses and teach from their classroom.
No one should go back on campus, you moron, you idiot.
The answer is a quick yes, but what we've been doing, Ms. Brown and members of the board, is we've been doing the right things at the right time. And what we're doing right now is if we get our resolution as well as our calendar approved, then that's the next phase that we're going to move in, because now we know what we need to do when we open up our schools, and that is distance learning only. On Monday, when
they should all be arrested, Cindy, you're right.
Our emergency meeting, we were giving you an update for the last 2 weeks of what TA had given us.
It's madness,
and we
Tony.
were still, as of Monday, we were still working with in-person instruction and distance learning because that was the mandate from TEA.
Both,
within
Vanessa.
the last 48 hours, everything's changed for the better, for the outcry that all of us have been making.
They are stupid, Alex.
Keep our students and our staff safe by having distance learning
Bitch
only.
it up.
So that's why I have another emergency meeting today, because in the last 48 hours, everything changed from what we had been hearing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And
no,
and
they did. You're such an idiot.
We are hearing
such an idiot. Guys, we've been calling this for weeks already.
And we are in agreement. We want to have our
no
students in a safe environment.
No,
safe environment by having
we've been calling this for weeks. For weeks, Mr. Gutierrez, this is exactly what we've been saying. Y'all just haven't been listening. The experts have been saying it, you fool.
And I don't mean to push about, and jump the gun on some of these things, but I think that I do want to put our instructors, for them to have peace of mind that this would include 2 options, because there are, again, some people that just don't, they would prefer to go in and teach from their classrooms for various reasons. And I want to make sure that we have that option available for our people that feel that they would be able to offer top-notch instruction from their classroom as opposed to trying to do it at home. I just want to give
that's not containing the virus. No one should go back on campus.
The distance learning that TA is requiring us to do, because now we know that it's distance learning, but they've also identified 2 models for distance learning.
Oh God, you're such a moron. This is what you're spending $400,000 on a year.
Virtual classroom instruction, and asynchronous can be students working on their own time, teachers putting lessons, and students can go in their own time and get those lessons from online, as well as perhaps teachers making videos and putting them in YouTube, and the kids can, on their own time, can access those videos for instruction. So we have a lot of.
They have been dragging their feet like idiots.
Learning, those 2 models.
It is ridiculous.
Are required by TEA, the synchronous and asynchronous, and we will be working with those 2 different models, and depending on the teachers want to work with either model, or they can use the combination of both models.
And that said, we all also take into consideration the fact that, like Ms. Brown said, some feel comfortable coming into the classroom and doing the teaching. And
Yeah.
some feel more comfortable doing it at home. So it's gonna be really.
No one in school, period.
Basis.
You're right, Denise. Nadie.
Let's say, just hypothetically, you're a teacher and you happen to have 3 children at home. And right now, not everybody's comfortable taking them to a daycare because you know how
Exactly,
it is. You go
teacher.
there, you pick up whatever is being spread around. So we're gonna take everything on an individual basis, see what works for both your employee and our student. And that's something that
Oh
will
my
be in
Lord,
your
she has
authority
no
to make a
concept
decision
or
on. Am I correct?
clue.
Correct, and teachers that will work from home or want to work from home, we believe that we still have the resources at the campus that they need to go access those resources.
No one should go on
because
campus, San
instruction,
Antonio.
one
No
of the
one.
things that our commissioner, what he calls the COVID slide, he doesn't want the COVID slide to continue because of distance learning. He wants us to,
Oh,
pick up the kids academically and do not allow the COVID slide to continue sliding down. And so I still see teachers having to go pick up resources even if they work from home because the best resources that we have are at the campus level. Can they pick them up and take them home? Absolutely.
Oh God.
Can they work on their class?
Their second home. Oh God. Are you full of yourself, you idiot?
Mr. Kelly, go ahead.
Yes, there's just 2 things. One of them, we have those big 75-inch screens that we're going to be putting in a lot of classrooms. And, those are very important, I think, so that a teacher can establish a class.
Oh my
I
God.
know my wife teaches 2nd grade, and her concern is everybody, start at 8 o'clock in the morning, they'd be dressed.
What the hell are you talking about, flip-flopping?
Or whatever, and, because the distance learning was a little bit sloppy before. So we actually start the year. But in line with that, what I would ask you to work on as quickly as possible is getting class rosters together.
Oh my
Because,
Lord.
Even if we have to take
No
teachers
one
a
should
little
be
extra
back on campus.
upfront,
Nadie.
before school starts, not a lot, but something, or they can take advantage of their.
Yes, you are, Minerva.
whatever, so
A
that they can
bunch
connect with the
of
parents and the
clowns, a
students
bunch of
before school
idiots, you
starts.
imbecile.
Because it's very important, I think, for teachers to be able to establish a relationship with the children. Especially, and this is distance learning,
Sylvia
It's
wants
easy. You
more
had a class
money.
in
Now
March.
do you
You
understand
don't have a
why?
class now, and you gotta have that
Guys, now do you
affection
understand
somehow,
why
just
the
breakthrough
superintendent
the
wanted to have
screen
more
and,
power over the money?
as close as possible.
Now do you
get
understand?
virtual hugs or whatever else
Sylvia
it is,
just came in
because
today
a lot
to
of
pick up her
affection goes
paycheck.
on in the elementary grade
They
level.
approved
The love
the
that's expressed through
superintendent
teaching,
to be able to spend more
so as
money.
quickly as possible, you can get the
Sylvia
rosters
controls the
of those teachers and
superintendent.
start
She's been
connecting with the parents
texting him
the
and calling him and emailing
We
him.
will do that, and we've sent surveys.
Now does it make
And
sense?
I want to thank everyone out there for their patience because surveys have changed, because everything has changed on us.
Shut.
Like I said, 48 hours ago, we
No.
were in a very different survey. The survey that we're going to send now.
Another
This is what we're
survey.
going to do now. So, but this survey that's coming out.
Another
I believe
survey.
That would be the last survey because we already know what we need to do to open up our schools and the direction that we're going for the next several weeks.
Another
I
survey.
want to thank everyone for their patience. Not that we want to confuse anyone, but that's the kind of a world we've been in for the last.
We don't want to
couple
confuse anyone.
years of, too many changes, too fast.
We just
But I
came back
think
from
now it's
vacation from the
settled down a lot
Galapagos.
Now that we know what we need to do.
Yes, speaking of surveys.
Willy
I'd like
Wonka.
to see a survey of all teachers and just see what they're thinking.
Another-
what the model is that they're gonna be pursuing.
Drew wants another survey on
They're
top of the other
discussing
survey.
and Piloted a lot of things, but I think everybody in this room, everybody in this district or city, they want to see an improved model now of virtual instruction. Everybody in the country is
What a
doing it. I
moron.
want to see BISD offer the best practices. I want to see
This is not going to end well at all.
a lot of support for technology from the campus level, the district
Moron.
level. We need consistency across the way.
It is control,
We need to
Tricia.
implement the best practices that are out there. We need to offer our.
Get off my
teachers a
page,
lot
Naheli.
of
Go
staff
watch it on
development
YouTube.
Because we're still, it's new.
Yeah.
But I think everybody.
Get off my
wants to
page and go
see
watch it on YouTube.
From the first day of school this year, a new, improved virtual instruction. And I'm hoping that we're cutting edge in that area. And that's going to require a lot of help from IT. If you're teaching from your home and that's the way that's best for you,
It is
that's
a crap
great.
show.
But we need to make sure that what you do from your home is top notch. If you're working from the classroom, that's fine too. We need to make sure it's
No
got to be
one should
consistent.
be on
We're
campus.
consistent or more
Moron.
consistent now in our platforms. We all want excellence now in virtual instruction.
Now?
And,
Now
I
you
think
want
that's
it?
what we'll get.
Moron.
That's the expectation.
Morons.
Again, we want to avoid the COVID slide.
You caused part of the COVID slide, idiot. No one should be going back on campus, period, Hannah. No
I
one.
want to echo what Ms. Brown just said.
Aye,
regarding
little
IT.
Eddie.
That's one thing teachers that are teaching part-time, and we need to take a very close look at that, because like she mentioned, these teachers are going to be doing top-notch education from home, and there's going to be a lot of questions. And if the teacher that's assigned to IT is teaching as well, there's not going to be enough time. So we need to address that issue to make sure that campuses have someone assigned, designated specifically for IT. Also, the other thing too, that we need to remind parents that this is going to be a grading period. It's not going to be like what happened at the end of the last school year. And lastly, it's going to be very important that as a district, we communicate with our educators.
Exactly, Robert.
Yes, we're posting a lot of things online, but maybe we can add emails to them as much as we can to make sure that we're uniform, that we are addressing all these things district-wide.
Thank you, Dr.
Make no sense. Oh, no, the drag of the head.
Thank you, Ms. Pena. Just a few things, Dr. Gutierrez, and I think I kind of mentioned, maybe jumped the gun on the special ed update with the resolution. Maybe that's something that you can address at this time.
Yeah, listen to whatever she says.
Can you address that?
She controls it.
Definitely.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Salazar, on this resolution. There's an item on the special ed population that it needs to be revised or edited or taken out, and Mr. Salazar has already contacted the judge. And
Another survey.
Give us an update on that.
Yes, Dr. Gutierrez, Ms. Pena, board members. Actually, it's not on the resolution, it's on the order. It's on the county judge's order. When I first read it, I think I was surprised. I'm sure Dr. Cuff and Ms. Lipo were surprised, and superintendent, because paragraph 5 specifically addresses students with special needs. And so when I saw it, it's some of the language there is inconsistent with what we have to do as a school district, both federally and statewide, with IDEA, which is our federal program. And I didn't feel comfortable with it. I did reach out to the county attorney, Juan Gonzalez, and I did tell him that there was some issues that were in there that I didn't believe were appropriate, because as a school district, we have to continue to educate our children, every day, whether they're homebound, whether they're in a doctor's care, whether they're in a hospital.
It's never enough surveys.
We still have that responsibility. And
yes, Claudia.
It had a date there of not doing face-to-face until 21-22, which would be a whole year. Clearly, we're not going to agree with it. So I have addressed that. The attorney from the county agreed with me, and I'm hoping, and I've asked him if he could delete that whole section 5, because as I mentioned to Dr. Gutierrez, and now I've mentioned with Dr. Cantu also, the district knows what they're supposed to do.
Survey.
We cannot do face-to-face for a certain time. We still have students within special needs, the students that need it the most.
A survey.
Face-to-face. We have to be more protected, but we have a lot of children that we have to feed, clean, bathe, instruct face-to-face, because those are our children.
That's exactly what it says.
They're the most vulnerable. So there has to be an exception for that.
Always.
And again, all I asked the county was let the district, the special services department, handle that.
Exactly, Erica.
Our district has some really good people in special ed that can handle that, and they know when face-to-face is appropriate, because these are the children that are needed the most, and they're also probably the children that are students that have regressed the most. But we are working on that.
Conversing with the witnesses
so
against her.
That we'll address it in-house,
I guess,
and not have the county force.
There goes the court.
And I concur with that, and I'm sure that the county won't have any problem at all doing that, because
no one should be on
very
campus.
conscientious, and we need to make sure that these children don't regress, because they will be the first ones to regress. And I'm really worried about that for my first, second, third, and fourth graders, because one-on-one is
Shut up,
always the
Minerva.
best of going
Idiot.
virtual. That's already been proven scientifically.
All she
And
does
it's
is
time to
repeat what
set the
everybody else
precedent
says.
for
Does
the
anyone
baby
notice
come
that?
back to be one-on-one. We're gonna have to go full first, because we're gonna have to play a lot of catch-up. But we have to be safe before we can even start doing that. So I don't see the county having a problem allowing us to do what we've been doing and doing well.
Hey, Cecilia.
Yes, Ms. Peña, just two other things real quickly.
Dr. Atkinson?
Thank you. In regards to the support for our counselors and our nurses during this time, as we start to prepare to come back to school and so forth, in terms of the normal day-to-day checks that they would have to do before school starts. You know, have we already started talking about how that's going to be done now virtually?
Ivan, my prayers, bro.
That's if we get our calendar approved today, then we're gonna have to start looking at moving up the dates, their starting dates to begin with, and then of course looking at duties and responsibilities. Because now that we're gonna go distance learning, Dr. Atkinson and everyone, there's gonna be some services that we're
exactly,
gonna have
Jose.
to,
This is
they're not
why.
gonna be there. For example, one that comes to mind right away is transportation. So I'm gonna have to be working with the different departments on how I'm gonna utilize the staff that we have and how we're going to spread.
DA is
the
not
workload
going
in
to do anything
different
to
areas
her.
while we do
Nothing.
distance learning. So I will have to work with all of those duties and responsibilities of the different departments.
And with the counselors specifically, because they have that responsibility.
The DA is
of
not going to do
statute,
anything
following
to
the
her.
statute on the personal graduation plans.
Another
And
survey.
making sure that their credits are aligned and so forth.
She controls
So,
them,
you know,
Elvita.
that's usually the first 3 to 4 weeks of school. That's what they're doing with their kids.
Correct.
She controls them too.
And just to piggyback on that, they are.
I piggyback.
Because they've been talking about that to you, so.
Oh my
We
God.
know exactly what they're on, and they have not.
No,
stopped
bitch
working
it
on that.
up.
So I'm very happy that they made that comment, that they are working on that.
Right.
Ms. Brown?
Yes, there's no doubt, that virtual distance learning lightens the load for some people, and it significantly increases the load, I think, for the teachers. And from just what I've heard from teachers, it's hard to be trying to that numbers and say high school classes and things. And I felt like the load really fell on the teachers a great deal. And then you have the students that, and we know this occurred, we just had students that just disappeared. And all of a sudden we were telling the teachers, okay, you need to figure out how to get those kids engaged. I think the employees who have
Can't
a
strike.
lesser load because of virtual distance learning, we have got to provide,
Serve, you
take
have to
those
serve.
employees and use those employees to support the teachers. I don't think a teacher can do the virtual teaching and all the things they have to do and also go look for students. And also,
They don't care,
tend to
Letty.
these other things that could be done by other employees. And we do
They don't
have
care,
employees
Martha.
that will not have the workload. And those employees need to be utilized
Shut
to
up,
support our
Drew.
teachers.
Correct. I agree.
It feels like they're on crack.
Thank you. Oh, Ms. Prissy.
Ms. Peña, I just have a question for Dr. Gutierrez. Dr. Gutierrez, so when do we anticipate, now that we know that we are going to go start the school year with virtual learning, and I know that your team has been working very hard and the task force as well.
They haven't.
How many hours or days do you anticipate that we need in order for us to embed and integrate all of these,
True. Thanks for
additional
being here,
impacts that the plan may have?
I'm looking at hopefully towards the end of next week. that we
Not soon
could have
enough.
Another meeting, but I'm gonna meet with the cabinet. We're gonna lay out.
He has no
what
plans,
we need to
guys.
do, And then, of course, looking at the.
There's no
calendar,
plan.
The new calendar, and then.
There's no
So
plan.
we already have done a lot of work.
No,
okay?
you
We've
haven't, you
already
idiot.
presented it. So all we're just doing, we're just now gonna put it in one format, which is distance learning. So we'll probably be ready sometime towards the end of next week, but I will inform the board when we're ready to present. But the data is collected, the information is
No,
collected.
we'll go.
We know what we need to do. We now,
So you have nothing.
we're gonna go in one direction only and not in all kinds of directions like before.
Como gallinas descabezadas. I've been saying it.
Perhaps towards the end of next week.
Thank you. Dr.
Maybe next week?
Thank you, sir.
Next week? They have nothing.
Did you have another question where we're going to be ready to start, and then you have meetings? Where let's say you have a meeting with all the elementary principals or middle school. you will have those meetings virtual, right? You're not gonna have them come into an auditorium and say like in different groups. We are gonna, because of the mandate where we're gonna do virtual teaching, we also will have those type of meetings virtual. Am I correct?
I'm gonna answer that. Almost all of them, yes. If I need to have them in person, I'm gonna divide them in small groups because I may need to see them in person. But in small
In
groups.
person?
And that's
Hey, Diego.
one thing that brought to my attention. If you have 10 small groups in the same building, it's not a small group. That's the mentality. So when you say small groups, you mean literally small groups. Like, for example, here, look at how many people we have here because we can only catch so many people in. You'll have the same concept when you have the meeting.
Small groups could be by division. High school principals, one group, middle school principals, another group, and elementary principals, a third group.
That's what I'm saying. We have 37. That's 37 is a large group. So you'll be
Yeah,
conscious that
and they're gonna send
to
more
have
surveys
37
and more
people in the
surveys.
same room where they were not meeting the small group mentality. I see what you're saying, and I hear what they're
It
saying.
is
I just make sure
laughable.
you balance the both.
I mean, have I lied, folks? Honestly, have I lied in regards to
Any
anything that
other
I
questions
said?
on this resolution? Please
Uh,
vote.
Look, Dr. Atkinson is voting.
Motion passes 7-0 unanimous. Item 2, recommend approval of
Exactly,
instructional
Cindy.
calendar amended 2020-2021 school year.
Motion to approve. Have a second? Second. Dr. Gutierrez?
Exactly,
Thank you.
Jose.
And again, is doing the right things at the right time. We have been looking at our calendars and
No, you
as we have been going through this direction that we're getting from TA, we've been adjusting our calendars.
DA's not gonna do
And
anything to
this
her.
also is in line with what the information that we got yesterday from
They're not, Jose.
TA and also hearing the concerns that people have had and
Survey after
expressed,
survey after
the comments that
survey.
have been made about looking at our calendar and also the starting date.
Exactly.
And we drafted 2 calendars.
Too many of them.
One that would start classes on August the 25th. We looked at the other one that perhaps starting classes on the 31st. And I talked to the DIC yesterday. I had a virtual meeting with them for about an hour. We talked about the pros and cons of both calendars. And in our discussion, the calendar that I'm bringing to you is a recommendation that I'm making as a superintendent.
Exactly,
along with the
teacher.
Cabinet as well as the DIC having discussed both options. But
Some of
we
these
felt that
are
this
former
option was
teachers,
a
Diana.
win-win, situation of a calendar. One, for example, is that we're pushing the starting date of class 2 more weeks.
25th.
Instead of starting classes on August 11th, as it's currently approved, we are pushing the starting date to August the 25th.
August 25th.
Reason being is that we give ourselves a little more time. We are in a big crisis, and you heard the stats from the mayor and from the county judge that things are getting worse by the day in our area. And so
Shut
we're just going
up.
to push that starting date 2 more weeks.
Inés
And start
Cabezadas.
classes on August the 25th and be able to let things calm down a little more.
Yeah, she's
If
there.
They can calm down, and God willing that they will, but right
Everyone
now
there,
we're in a big
100% Rita.
crisis, and pushing the date further down into August was the right thing to do for everyone's well-being and safety, and keeping everyone at home a little longer and safer where at home. And then along with that calendar, we were still able to embed some of the additional days that we want to embed for the second
Crazy,
semester
Rachel.
for the school year. And so this calendar allows us to keep some of those days, some Saturdays and some in the summer. Those are the ones that you see the boxes in blue. We get additional funding for those days. And in this calendar, we were able to keep that. I talked to the DIC about how important it was for us to keep those additional days of the school year. Our
They're
students
not going
are
to do anything to
below grade
her.
level, based on the
Everyone
fact
in this
that,
county
the
fears
pandemic
Sylvia
hit us
Atkinson.
in March.
The DA's not going to
TA
touch her.
has given us some graphs where it shows kids from low income, middle income, and high income, all 3 levels of income. They all have regressed within the last 4 months, and they're below grade level for the most part. So with this calendar, like I told the DIC, this
100%,
is more
Vianney.
of
100%.
a pro student in terms of allowing the kids, hopefully that things have come down by the second semester, and we can utilize those days, but those additional days to tutor our students and work with our students that are below grade level. And we have so many now with this pandemic, to try to bring as many kids as we can and being able to rescue them and being able to put them up at grade level as much as possible. And also, this calendar, in comparison to the other one, does not interfere with any of the holidays. It has all their holidays intact.
No.
The other one, we were looking at taking
November,
some
Yana.
holidays from the Thanksgiving week. We were gonna take like Monday and Tuesday off away and have classes. So that's also an issue because who knows, we may need that week of Thanksgiving. If the pandemic is not under control, we may need that whole week in itself.
Oh, they won't acknowledge it, Rosario.
If you can see, we kept the holidays intact.
Oh, it's been
We have some
crap show,
additional
Marlon.
days for tutorials of our students in the second semester. We pushed the starting date to 2 weeks. And all of those were just positives and things that
Yes,
we took
Erica,
into
100%.
consideration to bring this calendar and revised calendar
100%,
for
Nena.
approval. If it gets approved, obviously we'll work with everyone's starting date or their contracts because it's going to have to be adjusted. And that's something that we will
Rachel,
work
if
with.
there's one thing that they're going to do,
This is
they're already
what,
overburdening every single
the last
teacher
and
out
final
there.
calendar, again, because now we know
She
exactly
controls them,
how
Rita.
things need to get done. And that way we can give us ourselves a little more time during
They don't
this summer
care,
to
Miranda.
keep everyone at home, keep everyone safe as much as possible. Give us time to prepare how we are going to utilize all our staff.
We have a coach from Rivera fighting for his life.
Have a distance learning,
It's all about the
synchronous,
cash.
asynchronous, and apply it as best as we can to serve all our 43,000 students in our district. So this is my recommendation along with the discussion with the DIC.
Thank you.
Teachers need to stand up.
Mr. Garcia?
Now, that's to start August the 24th. What does the county resolution state? I believe September 8th or something like that? How will that affect us?
It would not affect it because the county resolution is only for in-person. So we just couldn't have in-person instruction. And then another thing that I think Ms. Brown mentioned was, and this was already discussed between the superintendent and myself, is if, for example, can teachers go to the campus? That's the question. And the resolution, the county emergency resolution specifically says that teachers and staff can go to campus and come back.
Teachers and staff
So we
can go to
have
campus.
teachers. It's just the in-person instruction that we cannot do.
Madam Chair. I just want to
Hold
clarify.
on, sir, let-
School's
let-
going to start August 25th, so I'm not 24th. 25th, just so, 'cause
Oh, yeah,
I don't want that message to go out wrong, because it's the 25th.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
And just one more thing that, let's make sure, we've been addressing about schools for working remotely, but something else that we need to take into consideration is CAB and main office. So let's see what we can do to address those issues as well.
Dr. Atkinson?
Thank you, Ms. Peña. Dr. Gutierrez, I know that once you look at this calendar, calendars are now basically predicated on the number of minutes that we're required to have.
There's the head.
So they'll still allow you some flexibility should that need arise.
Yeah, more surveys,
Is
Martha.
that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, and in doing so, I don't believe this is Mr. Salazar or Mr. Salinas' question in terms of the 187-day contracts that are required and so forth. I know that maybe there's something that can be considered later as part of the resolution, maybe an addendum or something that would allow you that flexibility, because we don't want to get into the middle of a gift of public funds should we have to waive a day because it's done by board action. But I definitely would be in favor of allowing you that flexibility so you don't feel that we have to hold to that 187, for their teachers and counselors, librarians, or nurses and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a
Mr.
rata.
Cohen?
Yeah, Dr. Gutierrez, could you look into some way we can help?
Sí, Elena,
some of our
acepto.
staff
Gracias.
with childcare?
Mándame mensaje.
I mean, I'm not sure the logistics over how.
She
to do it,
controls
but
them, Cynthia.
I know that if somebody.
It's a corrupt board.
Let me finish. You're looking at a lot of things, but, if, I'm just thinking that if we have a teacher come to the campus and they have 2 kids, they may be able to bring them with them. I don't know, some of the teachers that.
She controls them, Sammy.
Raised that question with me, and I have no answer. I don't know if you'll come up with an answer, so I'm just asking.
They
you to
have it,
look at
Rachel.
and see what you
What's
can-
going to happen is
We
they're going to
can-
lose their sick days, and then they're
Yeah,
going to
we
lose their
can, and the
FMLA
DOC
days.
brought it up, and I
They're gonna
told
lose
them that
everything.
There's just too much liability to bring children, their own children into a campus. The whole intent was not to bring any kids into any of our campuses simply because of the pandemic.
They
and
are
what's
talking about
going
what
on.
they can
So
do,
this time,
and they're going to put up a
told them
draft
it's
next week. I
not,
said it this
it's a
morning. I've been
liability for
saying
us.
it.
We
They've had
we
3
passed a
months,
resolution,
Ruben.
we
You're
passed a resolution
right.
not to bring any
3
kids into campus, and
months.
it can get out of control too, because
Oh, my
children, a lot
Lord.
of our staff members have children from departments to campuses.
Yes,
that
teachers will be
it
going
may
back
not
on
be,
campus.
A good idea for us to engage in that kind of a practice with our employees, because it can be more of a liability for us.
Well, I
No
bring it
one
up
should be
because
going on campus.
Your answer answers the question. You know, and somebody says, well, why can't you do this or why can't you do that? And you come up with some liability, other stuff, you know. I mean, your
Samantha,
children can
no hacen
bring the
caso.
virus into the campus and other people get there just walking down the hall. So, you know, but I'm thank you for addressing it.
And
Yeah,
that's,
no,
that's the objective of some of these teachers that are gonna be asking to work from home. So they can turn around and get their chair from the school, take it home, and at the same time, have the childcare that is needed for their children. I mentioned that earlier, they have 3 or 4 children. It's not feasible to them because then we might as well have face-to-face, because the majority of our employees have children. And so I understand, I respectfully understand completely the liability is what we have to take into consideration, so thank you for that.
And Madam Chair, I have one other thing, Doctor, if you would. What I would hope to see this starting of the school year is that we kind of give parents some guidelines or some advice on how to get their children, you know, essentially in framework to participate in this. And whatever guidance you can get to them, you know, I mean, like, get up in the morning, take a shower.
Distant learning
do
for
all the
students.
things, get
Teachers
dressed,
still go to
all
campus.
on everything else. You have your breakfast, you can go pick it up at the schools, and then the breakfast is there. Okay, 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever else it is, the bell rings, everybody is there on that big screen, you know, something like that, so that you can get some guidance, because parents, you know, they are waiting to understand, how are we gonna do this? You know, but whatever you can do to help them there, because that'll help everybody. Thank you.
Ms. Brown?
I think what you're talking about is working with the parents to perhaps establish routines. Because since March on, probably a lot of the routines have fallen by the wayside for the summer and stuff, and
No one on campus.
you're right, we need to assist with that as well.
Ms. Bennett, if I may, I think that teachers already did that, and over the summer, they had schedules, and I was very impressed, snack time, lunchtime, log back in, Zoom, so I think that teachers, maybe it's something that we can, an expectation, something that we can have some uniformity, but I think that, you know, we should give the teachers that credit that they already did that.
Oh, Laura, shut up,
And-
Laura. Go kiss Sylvia's butt.
I can stress that we minimize the in-person as much as possible, because then we go back to the same thing. We're doing distance learning to keep people from coming together. Teachers can come into their classroom, be by themselves all day long. But like I said, if we bring, like we have 23 people in this building right now, and we bring 37 administrators, well, then your distance is minimized. So be very conscientious, because you can pretty much do everything in Zoom that we can do in person. So just be very conscientious, because the last thing we want is someone to get sick and then claim they got it when they were in a group. So, do I have any more questions? Dr. Atkinson?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Peña. Just a quick question for Dr. Gutierrez. What is the capacity right now that you're promoting in the district?
Well, I'm gonna go by what the guidelines are right now, that it's 50% of a building. Obviously, if I'm gonna have principals, I won't have them in this room. I would have them at like a veterans auditorium, where I could spread them out even more. And we will not be at 50% of that capacity.
Right.
So I would also work smart to know how many I'm bringing and what building or facility I'm gonna use. I'm gonna have all the facilities to myself, practically. We're gonna have them all to ourselves.
Yeah.
So I can go to the stadium, you know, but no, I won't do that. I'm just saying that there's plenty of other larger spaces for being able to spread out staff members, of course. Something like that, I would do it on when it's absolutely necessary to do that. Virtual is one thing, but being in person is more like this. I mean, you have not allowed us to have a Zoom board meeting.
You haven't asked.
Well, I have. I did ask. But you told me you wanted it in person because you know that in person is more powerful.
No, I was never asked.
So I'm just saying that whenever I need to, I'm gonna need to because, you know, we have not, like many other districts have had Zoom board meetings. We haven't had one single one because we've had it all in person. And there may be times that I need to have people in person. So, but thank you for asking because it depends on the size of the facility that, and adhering to the 50% or less within that facility.
And Dr. Gutierrez, just as a follow-up, since there's been a lot of discussion about a possible, further closing or shutdown and so forth. So you'll be able to get out a list pretty quick to let people know who's going to still be required to come or who's going to be required to stay home and so forth.
Correct. That's going to be part of the plan that we want to present.
Thank you, sir.
And one thing I want to mention that everyone needs to be very conscientious. We need the people to get the job done at certain times, and it's very difficult. I totally understand. And one thing that we're very blessed in this district is that everyone still has their job and everyone's still getting their salary.
Oh,
so we gotta just
so be
finish
grateful,
that.
you
Sometimes it
morons.
requires
That's what
you
she's
to come
saying.
in and help
Be
us.
grateful that you have a
But
job.
please be very
Exactly
conscientious.
what Eddie
And
was
know that
saying.
We're gonna have everything clean for you so you can come in and get the job done. Because the last thing we ever want to do in this district is start furloughing people because we don't have.
Oh,
a plan,
there's the
because we're
threat.
not meeting the guidelines
There's
that
the
are required
threat.
to be able to have. those
What we don't want to do is
for our
fire
employees.
you.
So I want to thank you because up
Imbecile.
to this day, every employee's been getting paid properly and being done in virtual work or in-person work, and I thank all of you, but understand.
Fire the
I know
top
Dr. Gutierrez is doing
heavy
his very best to make sure
organizational chart,
and I
imbecile.
would be grateful the whole thing to go and do virtual from home, but it can't be done. That's not feasible with our district this size or any district. So we're now gonna vote.
Yes, ma'am.
Faculty is screwed.
And this vote is to accept the calendar starting on the 25th of August. Am I correct, Dr. Gutierrez?
And we'll put this on the website immediately so people know. Okay.
I've already put it on there, Drew, imbecile.
Motion passes 7-0 unanimous.
And if you want a Zoom meeting with the board, sure, let us know. This is the first I hear that. We said no. But
Okay.
but if you feel that it's a real big necessity,
Okay.
I don't think we have a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Announcements?
Just the announcement is the next scheduled regular board meeting is on August the 4th of 2020. Unless we have some other emergency meetings or special call meetings.
Guys, we'll have
then,
15 minutes
we'll
after
run
this
the
to
poll.
discuss this if you want to stay on.
Madam Chair, I would also want to address the issue of possible technology meeting. If you read the fine print with TEA, the only reason that we can't do the long distance or the remote forever is because equal protection issues and not everybody has access to the internet. So whatever we can do as quickly as
That's crazy,
possible,
Kevin. No one should be back on
concentrate
campus,
on
bro.
certain neighborhoods in this community.
Yes, Mayra. Other districts 100% online, period. No one on campus.
Signal so that we can cast the net.
That's
over to
crazy,
neighborhoods
Kevin.
and
No one should
everybody
be going
can have
back.
Access to
Everything can be done
our
virtually. They know it.
Great, then you could take those hotspots and pass them into other areas where there's niches, where there's no service and other things like that, but.
He won't
whatever we
come.
can do,
I
we're
did.
building-
He said he was, then he
building
was not going
millions,
to.
Face masks, the shields.
Me too,
All
Kevin.
kinds of equipment, whatever else. And I don't think you'd have.
It's
to
all it
sit
is. They
early
just
to
don't
be
want to,
able set
Sarai.
this thing up. If we can ask the city if they can accelerate a little bit what they're planning to do. And, I'm ready on no notice to have a meeting, except for August 13th at 1 o'clock. They gotta be in court.
Yeah, for Sylvia.
So much for no notice. Okay. Thank you. Do I have any other questions?
Do I have a motion
Motion to
to adjourn?
adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're going to stay on for 15 minutes, guys.
Motion passes 7-0 unanimous.
Thank you, everyone. This meeting is now adjourned. Have a very blessed afternoon.
All right, guys. Okay, let's discuss this very, very quickly. What they basically well, first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And no, not Minerva Peña. She's the penguin in the room. The elephant in this room is Dr. Atkinson. Again, Anyone anyone have any doubts anymore in regards to my statement? Anyone have any doubts anymore in regards to my statement that this is a corrupt board that is led 100% by Sylvia Atkinson? Anyone? Does anyone have doubts that she took money from an undercover federal agent? Anyone? Does anyone have doubts that she stole money from our children and resources from our teachers? Does anyone have any doubt? Anyone? I've been saying it, folks, saying it. And now, yes, PI 100% for the whole year. No one comes back. Rio Hondo, no one comes back. No one. La Feria. Here, Kevin's brother is going back on Friday. Other people are going back to work tomorrow. Some people are working from campus now. Folks, come on. Help me out here. They don't know why they don't go on Bronzo Talk. They want to, yes. Flip-flopping Philip. No doubt. It's 100% corrupt. 100% corruption. They have no plan. They have nothing. Nothing. The mayor already said no one goes back on campus 3 months ago. 3 months ago, folks. Someone call me out. Someone say that I'm lying. She shouldn't be there. No doubt, I'm not scared to speak my mind anymore. It's tough. If she's still after being indicted. Guys, have I lied? Have I not been saying the truth? There is no leadership at BISD. Sylvia still controls them. I've been saying it. It's time for teachers and staff to stand up. Stop being afraid. Stand with me. If you don't do it now, when? Now your lives are truly in danger. Yes, like lambs to the slaughter. Guys, it's time. It's time. I need you to stand with me and them all come off in November. All of them. Please, someone tell me one thing that I've said that has not been true. They won't show like lambs to the slaughter. It is despicable. Every single individual on there. And yes, everyone needs to come out and vote. But not only come out and vote, take people to come out and vote, guys. This, nothing. The only thing that was decided, Jessica, is that they're going to start August 25th instead of August 11th. But our teachers and our staff, they're still going to be coming onto campus. Yes, they are all puppets. We've been saying it for months, guys. Please, someone tell me something that I've said that's not been true. TVA was there kissing their butt. Patrick Hammonds was there kissing their butt. Get out of those teacher unions, folks. Those teacher associations. They're worthless. The only one out there fighting is AOBE. My goodness. So they had to stay home in March when this started. Now it's 100 times worse. And they want people to come back onto campus. No, bitch, shut up. 3 months ago, an online option reassignment for non-core teachers to help core teachers online make subgroups. This is ridiculous. Yes, you're getting thrown into a fire-filled hole. Guys, it's time. Please. November's coming. Early voting, I want people to come out and help. Please. Guys, it needs to change. They have done nothing. There is no plan. There's nothing moving forward. They're going to have a first draft next week, guys. Teachers, please be brave. I bet she went today because she was coming out too much yesterday on YouTube. Oh, they better not ask for us to sign a waiver just like Missouri did. Exactly, Gloria, you're right. Missouri did ask individuals that were coming onto campus to sign a waiver that, they weren't going to hold the schools liable for them, dying or contracting the virus. Every single one of them needs to be removed this November. All 5. By November, we will really be sick. Yeah. And maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe they want to get enough of our individuals sick so that they won't want to come out and vote. Maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's their plan. Don't be afraid to speak up, guys. It's time. It's our community. It's our lives. And they are our students. Why even attempt a technology meeting in August when they should have addressed it in March? Guys, they had March, April, May, June, July. They had 5 months. March, April, May, June, July. 4 months. They've had 4 months. Nothing. Spread the word. Vote, vote, vote. That was 28. All of us behind you, brother. If there was ever a time that I need you folks, it's now. Our community needs us now. We cannot go quietly into the night. We must stand up. We must fight, fight, fight. For too long, we have hidden, folks, in the shadows. The line must be drawn here, no far, no further. And we must make them pay for what they've done to us. They don't care about teachers. They don't care about our custodians. They don't care about maintenance people. No regard for their lives. It's disheartening. When you have a parent who will have to be one of those who has to be at work, it's crazy, Jessica. It's madness. Please, everyone, Priscilla, everyone you know, vote, vote, vote. Do not go quietly into the night no more. Too many people will die if we wait until November. We need to do something now. Goodness gracious, what can we do now? I mean, Sylvia's back on board. She's back on board. Now she's brave enough that she doesn't have to control them from behind, from the shadows. Now she wants to control them from the boardroom. Thank you, Nena. It's time to start new. Teachers and staff, when is your rally? Let's get it done. It's sad that our departments, we each spend over $100 for our own plexiglass shields. And you were given a $33 raise. Makes me embarrassed to say I once attended this school district. Disgraceful. Jessica, let's fight for the school district. We are going to vote November. 2 more months, guys. I need you to come out in October, guys. Please. Yes, we need to go and vote. Get them out. All of them. All of them. I want all 5 seats, guys. Please. I'm sorry, Candace. My prayers for your brother and your husband. And that's my want to help your campaign. But how can I help? Stop by my office. Pick up damn cookies. Someone buy my cookies. Does anyone feel like they have a knee on their neck and we can't breathe? Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. Because let me tell you, what they've just discussed is a death sentence, not only to our teachers and students, a death sentence to our community. They don't care. They just don't care. Teachers need to stay at home. Staff needs to stay at home. No one should be on campus. Thank you, Abe. All these people need to be voted out. All 5 of them. Tranquilo, God is with you. Ya ganamos. Tenemos la victoria. Teachers, why wait November? Don't show up. Defend yourselves. Take your sick leave days. Take your FMLA days. If you're a teacher, staff, don't go back. Stand in solidarity. Talk to your AOB guys, please, before you walk out, before you make any harsh move. Please contact AOBE and speak with them. We were going to have Ida on, Aveldano from AOBE on tonight. So any questions, please be ready tonight at 9 p.m. No, please do not do anything harsh and rash. They're all sound hesitant to speak. Yeah, because she's right there. Guys, please don't do anything harsh. Guys, I'm going to rally for the teachers that are 100%. Guys, look, man, I know some people out here don't like me. That's fine. They say I take too many pictures. They say I'm a narcissist. That's fine. They say that I have a DWI. That's fine. I never stole from my students. I supported my teachers and staff. I will continue to support my teachers and staff, no matter what. It's time. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you dislike me. I want you to love your life and your children's life and your students' life more than your hate for me. And join me. Together, we can bring about the change that the district needs. We could stop this stupid madness, folks. We can do it together. I promise you. I swear. I will. It will be in October. I'll speak with the mayor. Thank you, Yvonne. I'll need your vote. I might doubt that they'll fire all of us at the same time. Yeah, but please don't do anything harsh, guys. Please be patient. Please do not do anything harsh. Erasmo followers, including myself, we will have to go out in November and vote. Let's clean the swamp, guys. Please, guys, contact AOBE. Please, don't do anything harsh. Don't quit, please. Please don't quit. Please just don't not decide not to walk out. Yes, more surveys. All right, guys, I'm going to end with this. Guys, please listen to the words. Please do not quit. Do not make a harsh judgment call. Wait. Please wait. Be patient. Guys, call AOBE. Continue to communicate with myself. Let's be patient. I'm communicating with State Representative Eddie Lucio's office. I will continue to communicate with them throughout the day. And I have a couple of calls out to the representative and to the mayor. And we'll see where we go from there, guys. But be patient. And I know it's hard to say right about now. And I'm not saying don't be upset. Be infuriated. Be ticked off. Be upset. Be pissed off. You have a right to be. I mean, Sylvia Atkinson sitting in the boardroom, directing this board and the superintendent and the board attorney right next to each other. They're all testifying at her court date. And she's sitting there amongst them. Right now, they're all drinking coffee in the back room together. And as people were calling for the DA to do something, the DA is not going to do anything. It's not. It's just a show. It's just a show. Our judicial system is more concerned about a DWI, a Class B misdemeanor, where no one was hurt except myself. The Herald is more concerned about a DWI Class B misdemeanor. I made the front page every second day. Channel 4, Channel 23, garbage. They don't care. I care. And I want you to care too. Guys, we'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock. Be good to each other. Please be good to me. Unbelievable.